Quick update for you guys. So I've got the bed sides, bed front, and the new tailgate all locked in place where it's supposed to go. So, and the tailgate works great. I'm not going to open it right now for you guys because I have it all clamped together, and I still need to build the latch piece here. I'll fabricate that. But it's all mounted up solid, and I'm going to get these holes drilled because there'll be a hole that goes through each one of these beams for all of those. Other than that, everything is set exactly how it should be, or it will be. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to drill those holes, and then I'll pull all these panels back off, and then I'm going to take this subframe apart, sand it down, seal it, treat it, put it back together, and then when it's completely dry, I will get it put back up here on the frame, and then figure out the bed decking. I'm thinking about maybe just purchasing a pre-made bed decking instead of trying to build it myself, because I don't know if I have enough of the locust wood from my dad's old collection. So I don't think I'll quite make it. So I may just go ahead and get a pre-made bed. I'll leave the subframe clear coated. It'll be sealed, but clear coated basically, so that way you can see the wood, so that will not look original, but it kind of, you know, reminds me of my dad. So there's that, and then the bed decking I may go ahead and paint green so it matches and looks original. Another cool thing, got the gas tank all sealed up. I can't believe I finally got it, and I did it really well. Now I did some tinning with some solder, heated it up and soldered. It's ugly, but it's sealed completely, like around all of this stuff here. It's very ugly, but I don't care. It's sealed up and it's holding, because it actually has water in the tank right now. There's water in there. I've got some cleaner in there because I'm sloshing the cleaner around, cleaning it up. And then I'm going to etch the inside with some pre-treatment, and then I will do a tank liner. That's this stuff here, red coat. Got some fuel tank liner, so I'll use that. Line the tank, and then when that's done, I think I'm ready to paint it after that. So after that's cured, yep, I'll clean the outside, smooth it out a little bit, maybe do a tiny bit of body work on it, but not a whole lot. I'm not too worried about the dents and dings. I got a lot of them out, so this tank was pretty bad. Oh, and yeah, I welded in a drain bung, so there's that. And then I'll be ready to, after I paint it, I'll be ready to mount it. I've got tank straps coming, so that I can strap it right up in here. Filler neck is all done and ready to go, so I can strap that on. I've got fuel lines coming, so I'll run all the fuel lines, put the new fuel sending unit in the tank. I'll probably test the tank, or I mean test the fuel gauge. I did put oil in the transmission case and the transfer case, and there's a little bit of leakage. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right up in there. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's where the one of the shafts comes through the case. I guess from the factory they're pressed in real tight and they hold oil, but when they're this old, no, they're not going to hold oil. So I will try to seal it up with something, maybe. It's either that or I deal with a leaky truck, because these trucks leak, you know, pretty much regardless. So I probably will have leaks no matter what, but I'll try to mitigate those as much as possible. Alright guys, so one of the things that I got done so far is we've got the wooden subframe. I got the first coat of sealer on it. Turns the wood really pretty. So it's not going to be that visible, but when you look underneath the truck, it'll look nice. It's not how it's originally supposed to be. They're supposed to be painted green. But again, like I said before, this is some wood from my dad's life when he was younger. He cut some trees down back in the 80s, and that's what this is from. It's locust slabs that my dad had cut and had sitting around for years and years. So I put a little bit of my dad into the truck after he passed away. Okay, next up, I built a paint booth. So got this all formed up. I got a fan that blows inward so I can create a positive atmosphere in here, and got a thermometer. I'm warming a few panels up right now because it's cold. I've got a rack right here so I can hang things, filters for the outlet, and I'll just open my garage door back there slightly, and it stays warm in here because I've got heaters that are behind the fan, so I don't have any combustible fumes blowing through any fans or electric devices or anything. It's just there's a couple heaters out there that blow hot air into the fan blows inward, and fumes go out. So when I close off the door, this all blows up like a balloon, so it's got pretty good seal. So now I can actually paint at home. Now I'll start making some faster progress on you know, getting things done. So it's going to be pretty exciting actually, because I'm going to do the bed, all of the bed first. So this is the tailgate here, that's the front panel, and then I've got the side panels ready, and got a few other things like the bumper I'll get painted. I've got the running boards, and might be a couple other parts, but yeah, getting lots of stuff ready for paint. Wooden subframe all stained, waterproofed, and reassembled up on the truck. And the other thing I got yesterday is all the bed planks. So they're all prefabricated, really nice. Got the recessed areas for the washers that I painted right here. So those will fit absolutely perfect right down in there. So the next step here is, now that I just got this done, I'm going to go ahead and pull these bolts out because they go through the whole thing. But I'm going to try to keep the subframe in place, and then I am going to put the planks down, and then I'll put the bed sides on, and I'm going to kind of clamp everything into place, and I'll drill the holes because there's some holes that have to go through right about here on each of the down through the bed sides to hold them on. Once I mock fit all of that, then I will be ready to pull everything back apart, and still haven't fully decided, but I think I'm gonna probably keep the bed raw wood. I just, you know, coming from a carpenter's background, I don't like to paint over beautiful wood, and this is oak. These are oak planks. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'll stain these or clear coat them, just like I did the subframe. And then on the strips that go in between each of them, which I have not unwrapped out of the box yet, so I can't really show you, but the strips that go in between each plank, those will be painted green. I saw a truck online that looked really, really nice like that. So I'm going to do it that way. It's not military. The way that, I mean, these would just be painted green. But I think I'm going to go with the pretty wood. Later on, if I feel like I need to go closer to military, I can always paint it later, so not a big deal. But I think I'm going to stick with the beauty of the wood. I want to let the beauty of this wood come through. So, man, it was a bitch getting all of these holes to line up so I can get the bolts through. Obviously, this is no BMW precision quality, so you know, when they make these planks, these reproduction planks, I'm sure they're measuring off some other truck, or they're using like general measurements, and not all trucks were probably, the holes were, you know, drilled exact. I mean, they're pretty close, but getting my holes all the way through both of the subframe pieces, plus this, plus the frame, it's just all a whole bunch of lining up, but I finally got them. And the other problem is I don't know if they sent me the wrong strips, or if they don't make strips and they just you know, for this length bed. But the other problem is that these holes, I don't know if they're supposed to line up to the subframe. I don't know if those are supposed to line up and bolt through, or if you're supposed to clamp them with a clip underneath where the screw goes through and bolts into something else that holds the, you know, squeezes all the pieces together. So I don't know what the deal is there. So it's actually Friday and end of the workday, so I have to wait till next week in order to call Vintage Power Wagons and find out, do you guys just send the long bed strips and we're supposed to just cut them off, or did I get the wrong ones? It says Dodge long bed 90 inch, so I'm not real sure if I just got the wrong ones or they're just using, you know, the long beds and chopping them off. The other thing that I wish I'd have known ahead of time, see these strips here? These are the ones that go on the back side. This might get a little noisy here. Yep, got a little noisy. It's those strips that I reproduced and fabricated. So now I got to cut those off because mine are ugly, because I butted them up with the other one to make sure I was in the same spot as the old ones and all that kind of stuff. But I did not realize that I could get brand new ones. And it's awesome. It's really cool that, really nice that I can have these new ones, because they're clean, they're perfect. All I got to do is tack weld them onto the bed sides, and then on the inside of the bed they'll look really nice. So just like these strips, they'll look real nice right here on the edge. So that's good. I'm glad about that. But now I got to go. I was getting ready to paint these bed sides this weekend, so now I got to go cut those pieces off, and then I have to wait to find out if these strips are correct or not. So that kind of blows my weekend away. But got to do what I got to do. That's what happens. But other than that, it's starting to look pretty cool. My real goal for this weekend was to get the bed mocked up, you know, get the bed sides on, the tailgate, the front, and all that. Make sure everything fits nice, holes, you know, all in place and all that kind of stuff. And then I was going to tear it all back apart, paint the bed sides, and then start staining and waterproofing the planks here. And I can't really do any of that now, so I gotta find something else to do this weekend. But pretty cool to see this in the shape, or all put together. Alright, it's a good day. So I got all of the bed strips, and I've got the bed planks all stained, so everything is coming together there. So there's the bed without the bed sides. Everything's stained all nice and cured and everything. So I put 4 coats of clear on it. Got the new correct bed strips. Everything lines up the way it's supposed to. I still have to rip the old manufactured ones off the sides and get those remount or retack, you know, the new ones tacked in place. But I'll mock everything up. Another cool thing that I got done is the bumper. The bumper is mounted, and the tow hooks. So tow hooks are on. Got the radiator bracket kind of in place. Kind of an update on the radiators. So this is the original, and the fan hit it when they got in a wreck. So I think you might be able to see that right there. So it's the core is ruined. The tanks seem to be okay except for that dent on top. So top and bottom tanks seem to be okay, so I might be able to get them, or get it record, because the other radiator that I picked up from a guy up in the mountains, I had it checked out and it's completely shot. The tanks are shot and the core is shot. So if this can't be salvaged, this one, then that means I'm just going to go with some kind of an aftermarket radiator that fits in there, which kind of sucks because I like that honeycomb radiator, but I'm not gonna be able to find that. I'll keep an eye out for a honeycomb over the years, see if I can find one. But kind of sucks that I'm not gonna have that. But other than that, I got the parts for the fuel lines here. I've got some fittings to put the fuel line all together, so that'll be completely done. Let's see, so I got the rear fenders painted. I'm not going to show you those on camera until next time they're out in my shed curing right now, but I'll get a shot of those. As soon as I get the these rails taken off and the new ones put on, then I will prep these bed sides and get them painted. And so I've got the tailgate and the front, like I showed before, done. So after that, I can actually mount everything. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about if I put the bed together is I don't have the wiring harness yet, and there's not a whole lot of wires that need to come back to the rear. It's basically tail lights and then fuel sending unit. I think that's it. So I don't know. I don't really want to climb underneath the truck to get all the wires run in the right place and nice and tucked in and safe. I'd rather do it with the bed off. But I might be able to leave, I might be able to leave some of these center planks out and still get to everything, but still have all the bed sides except for the tailgate mounted, and then I could just slide these planks into place and get them mounted. So we'll see. Not a huge deal. I can climb underneath the truck if I need to wire, but I kind of like to just make sure I'm happy with where everything's at and all that. But there we are. Got the rails on the bed sides. I wound up with the wrong rails for the bed sides. I've got the correct ones for the inside of the bed, so that's fine, but the outside rails were wrong, so there's going to be some extra holes. But that's okay. I don't think it's a big deal. Actually, just probably give it more strength, honestly. But there's that. Got the tailgate. Everything's kind of mocked up again. There's gaps up at the front because I don't have those bolts tightened down, but for the most part I'm just trying to make sure everything works properly with everything in place. And I'll get the holes marked and drilled in the side rails. These deals here is what I'm talking about when I say side rails. And get them positioned, marked, drilled, and then I think I'm ready for body work. So I'll do the body work and I'll get it all, everything all smoothed out, and then paint. So getting really close to having the entire rear end, the bed, completed. Big update. Here we go. I still need to paint the chain hooks, but there's the bed and the strips. Everything's permanently mounted. It's all done. Totally done. Got all the bolts. Painted the screw heads and the bolt and the carriage bolt heads and everything. They're all mounted. Done deal there. There's the Fender kind of temporarily mounted. I'm not done yet. I'm waiting for the bolts and carriage bolts to dry from paint, but it's looking beautiful. Looking good. And there she is. I'm getting pretty excited. I should have rear fenders mounted here within probably 2 days. And having some serious issues with Radiator. So this is the old Radiator. I think I mentioned before that they're both shot. Well, at least the one that I bought from a guy up in the mountains is shot. The tanks on this one I think are actually good. So I'm going to take this to a Radiator shop and see if they can recore it. I was going to mount a temporary Radiator, which I may still do. I bought this, well, I'm not going to open it up, but I've got a brand new Radiator sitting here, just an aluminum Radiator. But turns out it's still too tall. It doesn't allow the nose cone to sit down properly, so I got to send it back, and I'll look for a shorter one so that I can maybe get a radiator in here temporarily, because I really would like to just have a radiator in here, get it running and everything, and then I can wait to have the original Radiator record if it's good. I really hope it's good, but we'll see. So I forgot to mention, I found some perfect condition reflectors, and I think I may have mentioned before, these are called King B. So you can kind of see right at the top there, maybe, where it says King B, Type A. Indestructible, special, photo ray, and approved, says approved Texas highway something. But unbelievably, I found some perfect condition ones. These are almost impossible to find, and they're very expensive. And so in order to paint them, the only option I've got here is I'm using some of the sticky wall stuff that you use for sticking things on the wall. And I'm just taking a teeny piece at a time and just molding it around the top of that marble. And once it's all masked off like that, I'll paint them. So I'll come back and show you guys again here shortly. Another super exciting progression here. Update. Check it out. Got the spare tire mount. It's all painted and done and mounted. These skirts are on. I've had these sitting around for a long time, but those are nice. Done. Got the fender welt comes all the way down like it's supposed to. So that's all lined up perfect. Totally bolted down and done. Got the same thing on the other side. So this side's done also. Those little skirts. And another super exciting thing is these reflectors I showed you before, all painted up, installed. These things are beautiful. I love them. And they're original. It's so cool. Awesome. Got the hitch installed. Bumperettes are installed. Just finished those about 30 seconds ago. Fenders, I think I may have shown before, but they're completely solid mounted done. Let's see. Oh, I got the brakes bled. That was a big giant mess. So there was a lot of leaks all over the place. The brake cylinders that I bought brand new, they were not oiled or lubricated at all, so one of them had a little bit of rust in it, and all four of them did not. There's a rubber seal or push I forget what they're called, but the inside the brake piston, there's the actual rubber piston piece itself that pushes the liquid back and forth, the fluid back and forth. They were just locking up inside the cylinder and cocking sideways, and so the brakes would just puke all the brake fluid out. So that's a little bit scary to, think that that's all it takes is just that little rubber piece to cock sideways on one of these brake cylinders, and you lose all four wheel brakes. So I pulled all of those off and honed them out really good, lubed them up, made sure that every single piston worked nice and clean, put it all back together, filled and bled the system, and I've got brakes now. So nothing's leaking, and the pedal, we got pressure, and you can't really see it, but maybe just barely you can see the caliper or the shoes moving there. Now the reason this one's still off is because I need that clip on the inside of the hub. There's a clip that holds the seal in, and so I've got it on order. The other thing I've got on order is I've got a couple of these hood latches coming. Sorry, I can't get a very good shot in there, but a couple of those suckers coming, because one of them is bad. I figured I'd buy two and use the best of the two that I get, because they're going to be used. I don't know why that's in there, but so let's see. This is the driver's fender, I believe. I'm going to prep it here pretty soon. About half an hour, about 45 minutes ago, I painted the passenger fender, or I primed it anyway. So there's a peek. I did a bunch of body work on it, so it actually looks really nice and clean and smooth, so pretty happy with that. Also primed the hood nose cone, So that's drying for another probably half hour to 45 minutes. I'll throw the second coat of primer, and then I'll go to green, do 2 coats of green. So